Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you
It
so much for
is
having
a
me.
beautiful day here in Dallas, Fort Worth, and this is Glenda White, the mortgage coach DFW, and we are on the Epic podcast. So,
Yay.
Marnie is one of my first, I want to call you endeavors because we're like under like 5 podcasts so far. And Marnie Murdock is with Fidelity Title. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Oh,
I'm great. I
gosh.
have to correct you though. We're Fidelity National Title.
Oh, that's right. Fidelity
Yes,
Nat title.
yes,
That's
ma'am.
right.
Yes, ma'am. And
All
I
right.
am so happy to be with this company. Amazing, amazing.
Oh my gosh. Now, how long have you been with them for?
Going on 3 years.
Okay.
And people that know me know that I skipped around town a lot.
Yeah.
I was known for that until I found my niche.
You did, and you found your home and your smile. Like it's like when you're home.
Yes.
And that's one thing that we're kind of talking about is when you know, you know. And it's all about 2023 being a better version of ourselves.
100%.
So what's one thing with Fidelity National Title that maybe someone doesn't know out there right now?
The management strength is unbelievable.
Mhm.
And if you're ready to level up,
Yeah.
it's the best company I've ever worked for because they push you.
Yeah.
They
And
push
that's
you.
what 2023 is about, is leveling up, being that 2x, that 3x, because honestly, agents have to get outside of the box. We have to kind of figure out how, right? It's no
Right.
longer let's just throw up this house and I'm going to get 5 loans from it and 5 transactions, right?
Right.
So tell me an aversion, because we were kind of talking offline. This is about 5 points or 4 points of who we are inside of us. So tell me a little bit about the version of you and why we feel it's a great topic today.
Well, my biggest thing with life in general going into 2023 is to be intentional.
Yeah.
Be intentional with every single thing that I do with this, my kids, work, family, friends,
Right.
to be intentional every moment because I'm not guaranteed tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not guaranteed the next hour.
Mhm.
And what are my superpowers? Because that's what I call them.
Yeah.
My strengths are my superpowers.
They are.
No one can take that away from me.
Nope.
That is me,
Yeah.
not you. And
Yeah.
I'm going to go in every day knowing what my purposes are.
Yeah. That's
and not focus on the weaknesses anymore.
Yeah, and that's one thing, like ripping the Band-Aid off, is we feel that, the fear of rejection, right? When we
100%.
go into the strengths that we have, but there's so much rejection today. How do we overcome that?
Well, for me, we overcome the rejection in our own minds.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't care what anybody thinks about me.
Mhm.
I don't care what so-and-so has to say about me. So-and-so at said title company says stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so glad that they care about me that much.
Right. I feel if someone's talking about me, it's like, damn, like,
I must be doing something right.
doing something right. But it's all about being epic and being bold. And that's what it's
100%.
it. When you wake up and you have that affirmation, it's like my kid woke up and she was up at 4:30 this morning, which was really weird.
Wow.
And she was like, Mom, I'm going to have a fantastic day. And I was like, oh, it
Mindset,
finally
baby.
worked. She was like, I'm
Mindset.
ready to have a bomb day. And I was like, all right, you're like,
Yes.
you're 8. Like, you go do this.
Yes.
And do you feel like when you wake up with that attitude, like that's going to take you through the day no matter
100%.
what? Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. I have to remind myself.
Oh, it's so hard.
100%. Sticky notes, paper everywhere, notes to myself. I just remind myself. And I think about those positives that have happened in my life, or what positive has happened that day to keep me going.
And surrounding yourself by positive people with the positive affirmations is going to be the mindset.
Yes, 100%, 100%. And, I manage the sales team and I also recruit for Fidelity.
Right.
And Fidelity is the #1 national underwriter. So our brand itself speaks words, speaks volumes over everybody.
Yeah.
But it is all of us individuals that make us who we are.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that about my job. I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I love my sales team. And when we did our vision boards for this year, instead of doing vision boards, one of my sales reps talked about this test that you can take online, and it's test.highfivetest.com. It was created by a few different people. Feel free to Google it.
Okay. We'll put in the link in the show notes whenever we're done with it.
I definitely recommend that.
Okay.
For us as a sales team, we all did the test. It's 120 questions. So don't be sitting in your car or rushing through it. Just know.
Be yourself.
Yes, but be real.
Yeah.
Because it tells you your 5 strengths. And I have it saved on my phone now. So before I go into an important meeting or an important interview or something that I just want to rock myself, I just focus back on that.
Game changer.
100%.
Oh my gosh. Like I'm blown away. Because that right there, I feel like it's the disc test that we have to take to know who we're having a conversation with. We should be doing a disc test, which if you haven't done one, we're going to drop it in the show notes. But this was test high five.
Test.highfivetest.com.
Oh, dang. Okay.
And like I said, I know what my 5 strengths are, and it's funny because it's just a test.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have to listen to that.
Yeah.
But when I ask my friends and family and the people that are closest to me, what are my 5 strengths? It was uncanny that everybody said the same exact thing that the test results were.
Whoa.
And so, just like I said, I just go into every conversation now being intentional with what those 5 strengths of mine are, because that's what makes me different and unique.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got fear of rejection. We've got taking a test to know our strengths over weaknesses. What else is another bullet point of to really find out of who we are?
I think asking people that are closest to you.
Yeah, having that raw conversation, right?
Yes.
Because I feel, again, it's kind of a rejection proof. I'll walk up to you and say, Marnie, what do you really feel about me? But you're my friend, so you're going to tell me,
right?
Oh, you're not good in this. You're not good at this. You're not good, but dang, you are solid in this. And the friends are what makes us better because 100%. They will be raw, right?
Now, if they say something negative to you, that's probably not the right friend.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, because you have to surround yourself by those that build you up and make you better people. But we also have to be adults too.
Yes.
And, like my sweet husband, he tells me, oh, babe, that was so bad. And I'm like, oh, I didn't want to hear that. I want to put my arms and just be a baby about it.
Right.
And, I'm growing, I'm evolving every single day. And sometimes I have to take the negatives with the positives, but it's so much better coming from someone that loves you.
Right. Because it's in the passion and the love for the heart and not just like, dude, you don't know how to do your job.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I'd love to talk about when we'd had the book club back in Fort Worth. I don't even know when that was, girl, 2016.
Definitely pre-COVID. It was so amazing though. Oh my gosh.
So rejection proof. I just always have to go back to that.
Such a great book, y'all.
I mean, he's fear of rejection. So he put himself in 100 different episodes per se of just being rejected.
It was 100 days of rejection of how he has overcome it and how on day 101, like the mindset switches.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when his mindset switched, I mean, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Right? It just completely changed my life because being in sales, they're not rejecting me as a person. They're rejecting how I'm asking them.
Yes.
And you can get a yes.
Or a strategy behind it, or just the thought of the what something didn't stick. And that's hard because look, I'm a female, so I cry when someone's like, Glenda, you suck and you're not doing this. I cry and I take it inside, but then I have to pull the book out and I have to go listen to that audible, just maybe one chapter. And we should be doing that anyway. Growth is leveraging 1% better every day. 100%. So just one chapter. And that book is one that if you don't have it,
get it
today.
Yes,
and hell, I'll even ship it to you if you don't. I've got some.
Life-changing.
It's life-changing because I feel, and that's one thing in any of this industry, I feel that there's so many books out there. People are like, oh my gosh, there's so many, but I don't know where to start. I think that is the Atomic Habits and Rejection Proof are the 2 books. Every person and no matter what industry, you should have those for sure.
You should.
Yeah. So what's one more takeaway from Rejection Proof from our friend, and I don't even know how to pronounce it. We try to talk about it off the air.
I think it's, is it Jim?
Jim?
Yeah.
Jim Jai?
So sorry. Sorry that we said your name wrong.
Sorry, we butchered it, but it's a great book. So we're going to drop it in the show notes and Amazon. Go get it.
And to answer your question, I think for me, the biggest takeaway besides they're not rejecting me is to just be consistent and persistent. Don't ever give up.
There's that word consistent. I've heard that so many times.
Do not give up.
And it's like when you have that follow-up and for an agent, like they keep following up and on, week 6 they're like, oh, I'm done. But that week 7, like it switches the mindset.
And don't ever stop at week 6.
Yeah, that's like
don't ever stop at week 6. Keep going.
Yeah,
keep going.
Because it is the money's in the follow up, and on week 12, 13, 14, like it's going to come around.
It does.
Because what do they say? Like 80% of the people go to like week 6, and then or like it's 60%, but then 30% make it to week 9, but like it's week 10 or 11 is where like it's like boom, and those sales starts coming. Because it all is, and it matters on those cells, right? We're not just talking to talk, right? Because we're having a candid conversation to figure out who we are inside. And if we're not right on the inside, and if we don't wake up with our morning affirmations, if we don't just get, we all talked about the sun yesterday, and this isn't going to air for a while, but everybody needs to go back and look at that sun last night.
Amazing.
Like it was just a beauty that was out there, but just a pause in the reflection of the moment to be so thankful for who we are and where we live today.
100%.
With all the negativity going around the world, with the crazy politics, the inflation, the real estate market, hell, where's the interest rates going to go? Are we market crashing?
Exactly.
How do we stay in the focus though?
For me, I just remind myself constantly.
Yeah.
Constant reminders, like I said, with sticky notes, words of affirmation.
Put
on
them
my
everywhere,
phone,
y'all. Mine are
everywhere.
my poor husband's. He's like, "Are you seriously putting them on my bathroom sink?" I was like, "No, it's on my side.
Yeah,
It's on my
exactly.
side, not your side."
And really, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
If it's, I don't know.
Sticky notes in your car.
Exactly.
Like, who cares? Put them in there.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
And I think also just always remembering to be intentional.
Yeah.
With every single thing that you do.
Yeah.
And people are struggling, and
they're struggling hard.
Yeah.
They just don't know. I don't know if it's we don't know our way. And I'm going to put we in that category because we do struggle. But being intentional, surrounding yourself, what's one more kind of fear over faith over fear over how to become, like, what's one more kind of topic that you feel that someone needs to implement today to be a better tomorrow?
Just stay away from the negativity.
Oh, there it is. Click 100%. The button, y'all. Just hit the delete button.
Yes.
Just hit the delete button. Away from it. So hard.
Even if it's family, even if it's friends,
yeah.
they're not your people.
Right. And here's the thing is you can go unfollow. They don't even know. Like, honestly, people don't know if you unfollow them. Like, just go unfollow.
And if you want to be a success, hang out with those people.
Yeah.
If you want to be a better listener, hang out with those people.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you want to be better at, hang out with those people.
Yeah, because it's about who we surround ourselves by. And if we surround ourselves with top producing title, real estate, like, it doesn't matter who in the industry. Heck, you can go with the, top person of the divorced person. Who cares? But it's who you hang your hat around is who you're going to be a better version
Absolutely.
of. And there's so many times that people are like, I'm so negative today. I'm like, okay, what'd you do? Let's spin this. And they're like, well, I did this and I did this and I didn't do this. And I watched, drama. And I'm like, well, there it is. Like, I'm the person, like, I don't even go to bed watching the news because it's so negative. I will not watch the news. My husband's like, it's 9:00. I'm like, good. I can see the weather and I'm going to the bedroom.
Exactly.
Right?
Because I never know what's going on. I don't watch the news either.
It's so crazy out there. It's insane. So, fear of rejection. Because we haven't unpacked it yet. How do we be who we are, and how do we know who we are? Not just being intentional, but how do we truly figure out who we are and who we serve and why we serve them?
Well, for me, I had to take a test and ask my closest people in my life, what are my strengths? What do you see in me?
Yeah.
And this year, like I said, I've just focused on that.
Yeah.
And for my sales team, I help them focus on that too.
Yeah.
Like, what are your strengths? What do we decide
Yeah.
that was for you? And I just keep them accountable. And for me, it's all about accountability and having people in my corner that will help me remember that. Because I can't do it all on my own.
No, we can. And what I love is so many people now that we're getting into, the second quarter, almost the end of the first quarter, is the vision board. Yes. I really like the fact that you're not doing a vision board, because I feel that the vision boards, they're good. But sometimes it's just like anything else. It's in front of us, but we don't finish it. And so it's put to the side, or maybe our vision board's there, but we can't quite comprehend it.
Right.
So it's not just about taking a test. And again, we're not saying do this or do that by any means. We're saying do one of them.
Do something.
Get your vision boards, get your affirmations, get your, your people around, because if we don't have those people, we don't know who we are.
Right.
And we don't know who we serve and why we serve them.
Right.
Because
in all honesty, I didn't know who I was until I took the test. I've always wanted to know. I've always strived to be.
Yeah.
But this year, like I said, I'm just being more intentional on who I really am and working on those core beliefs over anything else. And the fear is less and less. Like today, this is totally stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Whenever I called her, she was like, Glenda, she was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not getting on that. I was like, why? I was like, you're so good in front of people. She was like, but it's a podcast. I'm like, well, what? Like, by the time you see this, y'all, you won't even see our faces, but it is going to go up on YouTube. But it is a stepping out of our comfort zone. I didn't know what I was going to do when I aired a podcast. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Like, I hear it's okay. But then I looked yesterday, I already have like 15 downloads for 2. Like, someone's listening to it. Thank you, 15 people. But
Yay.
we have to get out of our comfort zone. And in real estate, let's kind of talk about that. What can a real estate agent do today if they are not behind, but rejecting? They fear the rejection. They don't know where to start. How does one just get started today?
Okay, I'm going to make an infomercial right now.
Do it.
Call me. I would love to work with you and be your accountability partner.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Or set you up with one of my sales team members.
Yeah.
I mean, not a pitch, just if you want to be a better person all around.
That's all it is.
Contact me. I'd love to be that person for you.
That's all it is, y'all. It's just a quick like, hey, how are you doing? Checking in. What can not what can we do, but how can we serve?
100%.
Like, the more we serve, given the greater good, is the more we become the better version of ourselves. Boom. Look at that. All wrapped up in a dang podcast. Yay. Oh my gosh. What is one of your strengths though? So tell me, I'm kind of interested.
So I'm number one on my list is I'm a very empathetic person.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So I can cry at the drop of a hat. If somebody's crying, I'm going to cry. I just love people. And that is my number one superpower.
Okay.
I don't ever meet a stranger. And for me, I care. I really do.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
And I've known that since however long I've known you, since book club 2016, when we were going to Max having a salad.
Yes.
There you go. Plug for Max. If they're still there. What's your number 2 strength? Because now I'm interested. Now I'm going to have to go take
Girl, can I look at my notes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look at your notes.
I know what all 5 are. I just don't know what number 2 is. Let me look really quickly. Number 2 is I'm a catalyst, which means I love to get things started and are great at creating momentum in stagnant environments. So if you're stagnant, I'll change that for you.
There it is. There's your accountability partner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I'm optimistic, I'm a believer, and I'm a deliverer.
Yeah, you are.
I say what I'm going to do and I do it.
Yeah. And that's for sure. She said she was going to come here and she was like, she showed up early, bright and early. And she's like, here we go. I'm so scared. I'm like, why? Like, we're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
So
I encourage everyone to ask yourselves, what are you using with your strengths?
Oh.
What are you doing with them?
That's deep. Yeah.
What are you doing with your strengths, Glenda?
I don't know, because I haven't taken the test. So I'm going to have to circle back on my strengths.
But you're going to have to tell me what you think you are. Then you're going to have to take the test.
Okay.
You'd be surprised.
Really? Mm-hmm. So now I'm super intrigued. See, and she caught me off guard because I haven't taken this yet. So now I'm like, I'm scared about what my strengths are.
Oh,
definitely
girl.
Optimistic. I mean, definitely everybody will say I'm always optimistic. I mean, that's my morning. Like, whenever I talk about affirmations, the day I don't do it, people are like, are you okay? Like, nah, I'm having a little bit. They're like, no, sister, like, let's go. Like, I just get random texts if I didn't see a silly post. Like, those silly posts they're really more for me than anybody else, but it's like, who wants to see it? And I got that from a loan officer a long time ago. I think I started doing it in like 2018, I think is when the first one popped up. And, it's not that we do it 100% of the time. And like I said, the days that we don't do it or do something in the morning, people are like, are you okay, Glenda? I'm like, well, not really. I'm having a bad day. They're like, okay, let's throw a taco one up there. Like, because it's always Taco Tuesday around here. Dang, it's always Taco Tuesday.
And I've also given myself grace in that. So saying
that's so good.
When you don't feel right, go home, stay home.
Right.
If you work so hard and you pound it every single day, you can rest.
Which that's a great book too, Pound the Stone. And if you haven't read it, it was our Midlothian football back 3 years ago. It was kind of there. And I was doing the program. So of course I wanted to get all into it. It's Pounding the Stone. So that's another one. It just talks about day in and day out, just pounding the stone. It's so hard out there, but it's just like Michael Jordan. It's the consistency that matters.
100%.
And everything in this industry, no matter what side of the spectrum you're on, is consistency.
100%.
No, I mean, when I say no matter what, it is business, entrepreneurship, it is financial, it's literacy. We have to be consistent 100%, not 100, because we're never going to be 100%, right. But we have to be consistent more than inconsistent to move the needle in the business. Right.
And you can have bad days.
Yeah.
Stay home. Don't be around anybody to make their days bad.
No.
And then get the hell up.
Yes.
Do
Wake
not
up.
Stay there.
It's like the Mel Robbins. Again, we're just going to start doing this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Mel Robbins said, just rip the Band-Aid off, because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 says that there's not an end in sight. Like there is, like it's done. But if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's an infinite finite number.
That's so good.
And I was like, dang, like I'm quoting some good stuff here.
You
See, I just need Marnie back in here more often. So here's the thing. We talked about rejecting. You're right. That they're not rejecting us. They're rejecting